Okay, so the first step is to just draw out your force diagram like this. Now the force applied is way bigger than the frictional force and FGX because the snowboard is accelerating up the hill. Okay, so now that we have this, our next step is to figure out FG right here. So that's going to be our mass times 9.81 is 45 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second. Okay, now that's our gravitational force. So I'll put it as negative 441.45 because this is going to be my coordinate system. So that's going to be negative. And then this is also negative. So that's negative 441.45 newtons for our gravitational force. Now the next step is to figure out the x component and the y component of gravitational force with this angle right here. So we're going to need to do sine and cosine to figure out Fg and Fx. Okay, so we can start with Fgx, which is just sine 15 degrees times negative 441.45 newtons. Okay, our answer is negative 114.25. That's a decimal newtons. And then to figure out the vertical component, FGY, that's cosine 15 degrees times negative 441.45 newtons. Now we're only calculating this so we can get the normal force right here. The opposite of this is going to be the normal force. Your answer is negative 426.40 newtons. So that means our normal force is going the opposite way, which is just 426.40 newtons. So now we have figured out this component, figured out this component, figured out this component. And now we have to figure out the frictional force. Okay, so the formula for frictional force is mu times normal force. We have our normal force right here, and we've been given the mu already, so that should be pretty easy to figure out. So that's 0.10 times 426.40. I'm going to use it and round it in my calculator. And that gives us 42.6. So that gives us 42.6 newtons. Negative 46.6 newtons, because this is the negative direction for our frictional force right here. So now we have all of these components, and we're just left with figuring out Fa. So now we have to develop a relationship which is gonna help us figure out Fa. Okay, so to start this off, I'm gonna make an Fnet statement. So Fnet is equal to force of friction plus Fgx plus applied force. So these are the forces from this line right here added together. Now after this is rearranged, it's going to give us FA goes to F net minus FGX minus frictional force. Then we're going to have to plug in our numbers. So it's going to be FA. Okay, we can quickly solve for the net force right here. So that's just mass times acceleration, which is given to us. So it's 45 kilograms times 0.50. So net force is 22.5 newtons minus, we calculated our FGX right here, so it's negative 114.25 newtons minus, what is our frictional force? We calculated right here, that's 42, negative 42.6, negative 42.6 newtons. Then we're going to go right ahead and plug that into the calculator. (22.5) minus negative 114.25, then minus negative 42.6. Okay, that gives us an answer of 179.35 newtons. And it's positive because this force is going in the positive direction. Now to write that in scientific notation and the correct sig digs, we can divide that by 10 squared, which is going to give us 1.8 rounded times 10 to the 2 newtons. So that's what we're looking for. That's our applied force on the snowboarder to go up the hill. Okay, that's it.